Good boy.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Meet My Husky video and advice for first time owners. I found these videos really helpful before we got our husky, and I just found the advice and the tips that people gave on them really helpful, so that is what I'm going to do for you if you are planning on getting one or you just want to know a bit more about them. So if you want to see that, then keep on watching. So we bought Blue from a private breeder. Originally I did want to rescue, but because we were living in a flat at the time, we didn't have a garden and they're very strict on the fact that you need a garden, so we couldn't rescue, but we were so desperate for one, so we did buy one. Come here, come here, come here, come on. So this is Blue. He is nearly 10 months old and he is a full Siberian Husky, and he is my baby, aren't you? He's molting at the moment, so there's fur absolutely everywhere. In terms of training, we were told by lots of people that they were really stubborn and difficult to train, but I think that we got really lucky with Blue because he was very food orientated and it was very, very easy to teach him tricks and stuff. I work really long shifts, so on my days off I would spend hours and hours teaching him lots of tricks. He does sit, paw, beg, spin, lie down, high five, and he's really, really good off lead as well. We used a really long, thin training lead, so he wasn't really aware that he had one on, and just started with recall. That's how we started, with lots of treats, lots of recall practice. A lot of it is just down to persistence and your attitude towards it. Any dog can be trained, in my opinion, if you've got the determination and the patience. I don't think any one breed is better than another. This is just my personal opinion. I really think that if you spend the time and the effort on them, then you can train any dog. We first started letting him off the lead after a couple of weeks of walking him. In fact, no, that's a lie. The first day we took him for a walk, we let him off the lead, but we did some recall training as well on the lead, so we did a bit of both. He was really good from the word go, and I can't really complain. I think we got really, really lucky with him because I've been told by lots of people that Huskies normally bolt and their prey drive is really high, and Blue's prey drive isn't really that high, so I think we've been really lucky in terms of how chilled out he is. I mean, that could change because he is still only 10 months old, but we did find as he got a little bit older he would sometimes push his luck. So we did, after doing a bit of research and asking advice, we did decide to get an e-collar. If you don't know what one of those is, it is a collar with a remote control. You can get ones that shock, vibrate and just make noises. Mine does all three, but I don't use the shock. It's very, very rare. I think I've only had to use it once, and he was about to run into a road, and that was the only reason why I used it. There was a lot of debate and controversy about them and whether they work. For us, it's been an absolute miracle because as soon as he hears the beeping of the remote, all you have to do is turn the remote on and he knows and he comes straight back. So I think if you know what you're doing and you don't abuse it and use it as an easy option, I think they are a really good option if you are worried about not having total control over your dogs. I think with them, most of the time, you do have complete control because you've got the shock there if you need to use it. I know this is probably going to cause a lot of debate and argument, but in my opinion, I think they are a really good idea if in the right hands. What they look like. I got this one from Amazon and they just come with a remote, and it has the sound setting, which is this one, the vibrate setting, which is there, and the shock setting, which is there, and you just use the middle button to change the settings. You can turn it up and down, and this bit has two spires which sit on Blue's neck, so if I ever did have to use, hopefully not, but if I did ever have to use either of those, then he would feel it. So yeah, it's really easy to use. It's just kind of like a walkie-talkie really, but there is so much debate about them, but I do, in my opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, I think they are great if you're using them properly and you're not just using them as an easy option. I mean, we've been using this with Blue since he was about 5 months old, 4 or 5 months old, just as a precaution really, and a safety net, because I feel a lot more at ease if he's got this on, because I just feel like I'd rather him enjoy his walks and be able to run and roam and do what he likes, but still have control of him, rather than keep him on a lead and him not be able to enjoy his walks and explore. So yeah, this is definitely a great option if used sensibly. Another thing I was warned about, not so much warned about, but just told about, was the molting and coat shedding twice a year. Blue has just started his first, and oh my god, literally everything, even when I'm eating, I can just feel the fur in my mouth. There's so much hair, and I will insert a picture for you to have a look in a sec. I am a bit of a clean freak, and I think if you don't like to see fur everywhere, then it's a good idea to hoover your room and your house every day, which is what we do, because it's just a lot easier, and then we're not constantly covered in fur. I mean, we're covered in fur anyway. The coat that I've got on is absolutely coated, and I've tried to keep it as fur free as possible, but when you own a snow dog, that's just part and parcel of it, and that's just what you've got to expect. If you are thinking about getting one, or you already have one, you will know the struggle, but I love him nonetheless, and it's just part of being a husky owner. In terms of feeding him, he's been on lots of different food because he is very, very fussy, and that is quite a common trait with huskies and snow dogs. They tend to have a really fussy diet. I mean, he's been on so many different brands of dog food. We've tried him on raw. He was okay with that for about a month, and then he just totally stopped eating it, so we had to go back on to a different one, and fingers crossed we have found finally the food that he likes, which is Wainwright's. I think it's exclusive to Pets at Home, but it has a really high meat content, and it's a really good food. It's not too expensive compared to other brands, but it is still a really high percentage in protein, so that's why I feed him that food. Another thing that I have found whilst owning Blue, and I was pre-warned about this as well, is how easily they get bored, which is why the exercise is so important. I mean, Blue gets a walk every day. We let him run around off lead and just burn off the energy. He is crated if we're not home, because he just gets bored so quickly and starts chewing things. He's never left for too long, a few hours at a time, because obviously he's in a crate, so I feel really mean if I leave him in there for a long time, but it's just peace of mind to know that he's not going to hurt himself and that my things aren't going to get destroyed. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it to first-time husky owners. I mean, every dog is different, so you might find that your husky doesn't chew or doesn't have accidents or anything. Every single dog is different, but I have found that with him, the only thing I can really fault about him is his chewing, because he just gets bored so easily. And even sometimes if I'm here, he will try and sneakily like nick my shoes and stuff. So yeah, you've got to be on the ball with snow dogs. Well, I keep saying snow dogs, he's a Siberian Husky, because they are so clever and so on the ball, so you've really got to be quite clever with them and keep an eye on them all the time. But it is like having a child, I'm not gonna lie. It's really important, not just for huskies, but any animals. I think you've really got to love the animal to be able to treat them properly and give them everything that they need. I mean, me and my partner, we are both massive husky and malamute lovers, so we love him no matter what he does, and he pushes his luck sometimes. I mean, he's looking at me right now while I'm filming this. He really does push his luck sometimes, and sometimes I just want to pull my hair out with how much he's stressing me out with his chewing, and occasionally he will have accidents inside. Let me know if you have a husky or any dog and your dog does the same down below. Occasionally he will just do it even though he's been let out. It's really strange. So yeah, it's not very often, but every now and again he will do that, and it's just like, I've just let you out, why are you doing that inside? Whether it's marking their territory sort of thing, I don't know. But if you've experienced the same thing, let me know down below and how you dealt with it, because at the moment all I can really do is just tell him off and then that's it. So I don't know whether you have any techniques or anything that you can recommend. I am sat on the floor with Blue, just so you can get a better look. Can you not just sit like a normal dog? Why do I have to pick you up? Sit down. Sit. Sit. You're camera shy. You're not normally camera shy, you little poser. Back to him being off lead, I get a lot of people say that you're crazy for letting him off lead. Oh my god, I could never let mine off, he'd be gone. I'm not saying that you've not trained them properly, but it might be a good idea to maybe try and do some recall, because that's exactly what we did with Blue and it's really worked. My mum made a bet with my partner that we wouldn't be able to off lead train him, and we did, and it wasn't even that difficult. So I don't know whether we just got lucky, or we just did the right training method, or we spent a lot of time training him, which we did. Admittedly, we spent a lot of time, but it's paid off because he is such a good dog now and we can fully trust him off the lead with the e-collar on. I probably wouldn't 100% trust him without him on, because he hears the noise and he thinks I better come back. There have been a couple of occasions where we've forgotten the collar and we've had to call him more than usual, because I think he's realised he's not got it on and he can get away with it a little bit more. So yeah, but I wouldn't be discouraged by people saying that you shouldn't have a husky off lead, because if I'd have done that, Blue wouldn't be where he is now. So I think that you should give it a go, and if it doesn't work, maybe try the e-collar, and then if that doesn't work, then obviously keep him on a lead. But maybe you could have a training lead, which is a really long one, so they can still run around. If any of you have any specific questions about Blue, or any advice that I haven't covered in this, or anything that you just want to know, then leave a comment down below and I will try my best to answer them all. So yeah, that was my Meet My Husky and advice for first time owners video. If you enjoyed this, then give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.